right, look like we live YouTube now. Good morning, y'all. Today is day 39. 39. We started 5:36. A little later than usual. A little later than usual, but my little workout got a little gooder to me than usual this morning. So we had a little later start. Can't hear that music. Trying to do a heart or hurts in the background. Let me see if this is louder. Let's do these Tibetan bowls at 396 hertz.
In January this year,
Oh, you did? You did? For real? You did do ayahuasca in January this year? Bro, good job. Can you guys hear that? I seemed a little louder. A little louder, little louder, little. These are Tibetan bowls. Let me see. It should look. I don't see. Just keep an eye on it just in case there's a commercial. I don't think there's no commercial in there. Day 39. We're gonna do a lay-in meditation today, another one tomorrow, and then we're gonna switch. We're gonna switch it up. Appreciate you guys joining me as usual. Make sure these is how I want them to be. Take 39, feeling fine. 39. Oh, those are dope. Those bells are dope. I like those Tibetan bells. Mm.
understand for a while.
Powerful meditation. Powerful meditation. I feel energized, ready to go. Who won it? What's up? We're shaking. Today was day what? 37? 38. 38. Today was 38. We're gonna do 39, 40. So 2 more days of laying down. Maybe I might do standing up meditation, which is dangerous. I've done it before. All these meditations are dangerous to do on a live. You never know what portal you're gonna hop in and hop out of. You understand? I've been doing this stuff for years, so I'm able to maintain what I do. One of my things that I do, so I don't go insane in front of y'all, is I switch it up. I do different meditations. I don't stay. If I did heavy breathing for over half an hour straight, I will be under a state of psychosis. So I do about 15 minutes, 20 minutes, at the most 30 minutes of deep breathing. But I also go to no thought. I go to my deep breathing, which I can combine with my no thought. I do affirmations. When you do, before I do no thought, I peel off the layers. You can meditate within a breath, one breath. You understand? One good dope breath, deep breathing breath, no thought breath. But I had an awesome time with you guys as usual. Thank you for joining me. My wife did her live, her show yesterday. We might be possibly looking for a co-host. You understand?
Yeah, definitely.
We do. So we are looking for a co-host. We're looking for a co-host. If you want to be a co-host, my wife's show, Cannabis Equity Minutes.
Yep.
Cannabis Equity Minutes. We definitely looking for a co-host. I'm a little raunchy, a little rough around the edges, but me and my wife, we just regular folks. We didn't come here to be activists or necessarily public people. But when we saw there was a need and there was no real advocacy for equity, MRCC was not advocacy. MRCC was taking a bag and shrouding us and hedging us. Saskia, shout out to Saskia. I think she gave a heartfelt type testimony. And we might have could have worked with Saskia. She still hasn't apologized for us. Like MRCC, as soon as we got at Joey Gilmore, being an SSDP, Chris Crane crony, hollering equity first, and Shailene talking about Joey Gilmore don't take no money. And he's like, that's not accurate. How is MRCC a state-funded activist group? They getting state funds. How is MRCC getting the PIP money, the positive impact plans? They started talking about the positive impact plans, MRCC, and next, the CCC bought them in, co-opted, started giving them state money, started giving them the PIP money. All of a sudden, they shut up. They've been betrayed the Black community. But when we called Asian and white Joey Gilmore out, who everybody thought he was Spanish, he was pretending like he was a brown individual because, mass incarcerated happened to Black and brown individuals. Here came Saskia. They brought on this Black woman from Cambridge talking about equity first, equity first. And these folks, MRC, first of all, before Saskia came around, MRCC was going around slandering, defaming us and other equity program participants who were working on deals in Cambridge. And then they came with this whole local first campaign. Now we see, fast forward, what MRCC was really about. We see they got the $1 million from Medman, and the NAACP dude, and MRCC. What was the dude's name? The Black dude, NAACP? Richard Harding. Richard Harding and MRCC came out talking this equity first campaign in Cambridge, and they was shitting on other equity program participants like myself. My wife and I deal was kind of weak and flimsical. It was flimsy. We had a property secured, and from there we were trying to get capital to open up in Cambridge. All got annihilated by MRCC and Richard Harding's movement with Medman. And you see who got in Cambridge. Local first? No. Cookies got in Cambridge. Medman got in Cambridge. And Chris Crane got in Cambridge. These are all multi-state operators. But MRCC isn't saying anything. If they were really genuine about their charge for local first, how come they not banging on Chris Crane? How come they not banging on Medman? How come they not banging on Cookies? These guys are all jokes, and they attacked my wife. They told Saskia that we had corporate connections and we were corporate this and corporate. My wife and I, we organic. This is organic. We don't got no corporate connections. We don't got no corporate. We ain't never got a dime from nobody. But y'all was willing to pay MRCC all this money, but y'all never gave us a dime. We gave you the Massachusetts Marijuana Social Equity Report. We gave you the PIES program, which is the real conqueror of the barriers of entry for Black folks in the equity program. Black, white, red, yellow, whoever's in the equity program, because it ain't all Black folks. But it conquers the barriers of entry, the PIES program. So here it is. They sick this Black woman on us. As soon as she got with MRCC, she came out the gate, and she came to attack us. Came to attack us publicly. And pretty much that's what they do for Black folks. They get other Black folks to attack Black folks. So it was classic. It was classic. Now here she is. You heard her. She says she's a lobbyist for MRCC. She's paid. So what did I tell you, brothers and sisters or white folks? Don't go to these paid Black folks and ask them for change. Ask them for real answers. They're paid. Saskia can only do what's in the scope or in the box of what MRCC will allow her to do and say. So acting like the Black woman, the crazy Black woman who for Black politics is what MRCC needs right now, because we came after them with SSDP, Joey Asian and white Joey Gilmore leading the Black community around, and they couldn't leave that money around. The whole thing about these activists, not just MRCC, but activists, these paid activists, period, is they got to get paid first. You see Saskia, she said, we don't got the bandwidth, meaning we don't got the money to effectuate equity. We need money, y'all. We need money because we got to pay our lobbyists. We got to pay our staff. You know, I think one of the highest paid lobbyists in cannabis last year made over $1 million?
Oh, no, that was over several years. I think it's between $200,000 and $300,000.
$200,000 a year? Yeah, so the average activist was making $200,000, $300,000 a year. So these individuals, once folks give you money, they got a stake in what you do. They got a stake in what you say, especially if you're a lobbyist. You're supposed to lobby for that company. She could never talk negative about MRCC and the Frozen 4 deal, where they put an equity program participant in a 10% deal. She could never talk about MRCC's affiliations with Chris Crane, Joey Gilmore's affiliations with Chris Crane. They can never talk about the cannabis heist. You see this other individual, white individual, male individual. Let me know if you know his name when I talk. But he talked about it being an issue with legislation allowing RMDs to open up alongside of equity. That would have been 20. There were maybe how many RMDs were operational? There were about 50 plus operational RMDs that would have opened up alongside of equity. The Massachusetts legislation allowed about 50 RMD, registered medical dispensaries, to open up alongside of equity. That wasn't the travesty, y'all. The travesty is your Massachusetts regulatory body opened up an additional priority period that wasn't in legislation that allowed people to come from out of town, out of state, and out of the country for 500 days. For 500 days. 500 days. They opened up this equity priority status for people with big money, not RMDs, not registered medical dispensaries that were operating and dispensing. We're talking about MSOs. MRCC never was talking about MSOs because they were an activist group hired by MSOs. They were an activist group created by MSOs to protect them when they came into Massachusetts. The only thing MRCC ever spoke about was RMDs. They never mentioned the illegal priority status that the Cannabis Control Commission gave for 500 days to hundreds of MSOs. Hundreds of MSO licenses went through that 500-day priority period. These were people who were not operating and dispensing. So while anybody in Massachusetts residents, Massachusetts advocacy, if you ain't talking about this 500-day priority period that the Cannabis Control Commission dreamed up, the first Cannabis Control Commission dreamed up, Sean Collins allowed a 500 day equity priority period for big money from out of state. These folks got equity priority period. What does a millionaire, what does a billionaire, multi-millionaire, multi-billionaire need with equity priority status? That's what happened. They taught us, our MRCC had us running down on local RMDs, which was only about 50, which only would have equated to about 50 licenses. 50 licenses times 3, that would have been 150 licenses if they all got three vertical, if they got 3 licenses through vertical integration. No.
And they couldn't because it had to be co-located.
And they couldn't because so they even had a highest. So here it is, the RMDs, they had to have a co-located space, meaning it had to be where their medical spot was. These crooks under Sean Collins, Shailene Title, who's supposed to be for advocacy for us, never said anything about the illegal priority period where big money was allowed to get equity status from out of town. I'm not talking about what the legislation said. We could have dealt with the local RMDs, but here it is. What's your boy Grant? All Grant is talking about is companies like Rev Clinics who are actually operating and dispensing, who actually had standing in legislation. See, so if I was Rev Clinics, and you let all of these out-of-towners open up, and I had standing in legislation, I was operating and dispensing local RMD, but instead we didn't have to. Instead, we had to compete with hundreds of MSO licenses from out of state, illegal licenses. That's where our equity went. Now here it is, Shailene talking about, HCAs threaten equity. No, you threatened equity. You annihilated equity, Shailene Title, during your tenure as a cannabis control commissioner. And what she says, she's like, well, I wasn't the only one approving these licenses, but you were equity, darling. You were equity. You were the social justice chair. So just like you took your ass over to Cambridge, why you never said nothing about the illegal priority status of all of your clients, of all of your company constituents' clients? Who are your clients too? You mean to tell me Forefront Ventures, all that money Forefront Ventures made over here and got the illegal priority status? All that money Vicente Sederberg made over here and got the illegal priority status? 2 companies who you had tenure with, 2 companies who you work with in Massachusetts and in Colorado, and y'all all came over here and wrote on legislation? You mean to tell me you had no collusion with these individuals, but you never said nothing about the illegal priority status they created and you enforced and Collins supported? So they trying to, we could never move past that. And to add slight to injury, they sent an arrest threat to my wife and I for coming up with this information, for presenting this information. That what I just told you, the Cannabis Control Commission sent an arrest threat to my. See how they deal with black folks? We get arrest threats. MRCC get invited to the table to steal equity through the PIPs. And now they got a black face up there, Saskia, doing it well. Saskia is a real good actor because when she first came out, she acted like she was for local first. And she thought genuinely that my wife and I were corporate carpet baggers, corporate whores, what she called us. We don't have no corporate connections still. But this was her claim. She didn't even know us. But as soon as she signed that dotted line with MRCC, she's like, who you want me to get? Who you want me to get? And she sicked us like a dog with rabies. So even though Saskia had a powerful speech yesterday, I wish we could work together with folks like individuals like this. But she's paid. She's paid by MRCC. She'll never work with us. She'll never work with us because what we have to say about MRCC and their dealings, she could never deal with because she's paid by MRCC. So, and all of the other equity folks, man, who was running around lying about us and such like that, man, come on. Do you see what this was about? We put together 100% ownership program for you. So you don't got to be crying at an HCA meeting that got nothing to do with equity. What was that? HCA?
That's what it was. It was a public hearing, the legislative public hearing on.
But it has nothing to do with equity. But the PIES program does. The PIES program, you wouldn't be up there crying if you was pushing the PIES program. You don't know what to do. You guys don't have a clue what to do. You up there crying and shit like that, and you're not in the right place. You wasn't in the right place to have that discussion. That wasn't the right place to have that discussion. to use your likeness. So now the average listener will be like, oh, let's approve these HCAs because equity folks is up there crying. And these obviously, what's going down with these HCAs is obviously affecting them adversely. No, they not. You understand me? That's the HCA went to all of these folks who got illegal priority status. Now, if they thought the HCAs were so illegal and the contracts are so illegal, why don't you make the whole contract null and void and give us an even playing field in our own market? You won't do that. So it's best you just shut the fuck up. Excuse my French. It's best you just shut the fuck up and go on with yourself. All you MSOs who got a legal priority status, that's one lawsuit for Massachusetts. And then you trying to create another lawsuit with our local municipalities because you created a situation that was pay to play there also. So our local municipalities, at the expense of local residents, they took the money. They said, yo, these folks going to build streets. These folks going to rebuild this. These folks going to do this. So at the expense of local residents, you said, yo, we're going to do all of this. And the local municipalities illegally gave these folks these contracts because if they can't get everything in those contracts, the contracts is illegal. So if any part of the contract is illegal, the whole contract is null and void. You understand me? And then you need to restart with an even playing field. So y'all best just go along with the deals you got, all you folks with these illegal HCAs, these HCAs that go above and beyond the 3%. Ain't that some shit? After these folks flooded our industry, got all of this illegal priority status, that's a lawsuit. If we take these licenses from these individuals, that's a lawsuit. We won't have no industry. So when my wife and I noticed it, what we do, we wrote them a nice little letter. We say, hey, we seen the bullshit you did. We seen how you stole the equity with the illegal priority status. Here, we got a remedy for that will save our industry. It's called pies. Pies. Let me explain something to you. If we don't get our pies, we will not stop. We will not stop until this is rectified. How you not in legislation, but you get in here before all Massachusetts residents? How you not in legislation, but you steal our equity status? And you use me as Operation Human Shield like you tried to use them yesterday with the HCA hearing. Put the black folks in front of them, have them cry about equity. And we there to cry about equity. But you couldn't support a black woman's program. Anytime these white folks call you to come show up to cry about equity, you there. But a black woman put together a program. And what y'all do? Y'all attacked her like some dummies. Y'all attack my wife with lies like some dummies. We were fighting for you. We still fighting for you. 100. My wife was just fighting for you last night. 100% ownership for your business, for your equity business. But they using you. Hoffman said everybody in equity don't agree with 100% ownership of their business. Everybody in equity don't agree with the PIES program. How dare you, MRCC? How dare you? Not when you pushed a 10% deal with Frozen 4 with an equity program participant, and nobody knows how many other predatory deals you got out there, MRCC. Because social equity don't have to divulge what their deals was. Economic empowerment do. So, we need a co-host. We need a co-host for my wife's show. It's a powerful show. It's really picking up. Cannabis Equity Minutes. It's needed. We have no real advocacy. And the advocates, we ain't getting paid shit. We should be getting, where's all that money I was giving MRCC? Why are we not getting it? You see these companies, they love to give white folks the money to do it. Here, white folks, here, white woman, you get the money to go do the study. Go get some black folks to come be a part of the study. And they pay you change to be a part of the study while they paid her $30,000, $40,000 to host the study. She don't know shit about equity. But they giving MRCC the money. They don't know shit about equity. The money never come to us. MRCC running around hosting classes that they could do for free. But since they got to check, hey, I'll sit down and talk about some shit that I ain't never experienced. They ain't never owned. Who in MRCC own a cannabis business? They got some black folks now. They trying to get around it. They got some cannabis business. But when they was taking that money from the PIPs, they didn't tab nobody. When they got to be vendors, a cannabis activist group, they didn't have no experience. What experience in vending or getting licenses did they have? They didn't have any. But one of the easiest things they can do for black folks is let me do a class. Let me do a class. Nobody evaluating the classes, but they getting that check and making sure they can freaking get a lifestyle, do a living. So anyway, yeah, man, meditations get me energized, man, energized to fight. And like I said, we organic. We ain't getting $1 from nobody. We need to be getting dollars. We need to be getting. We gave you an equity evaluation. If you guys want another equity evaluation, which we got one in the coffers, why don't you pay for it? Who else is doing equity evaluations? Who else is investigating the Cannabis Control Commission to make sure they're doing what they said they were supposed to do? Nobody. We getting the arrest threats. How come we ain't got $1 yet, black folks, white folks, red folks, Asian folks? Y'all giving Shailene money. Y'all giving MRCC money. But black folks can't get $1 for doing their own work for themselves. We smart enough to do our own work. You understand? But here it is. We ain't got $1. Saskia, nobody paying us nothing. Saskia, you getting $1 though, honey. You getting $1, baby girl. But you gonna tell the people that we corporate whores? Why don't you apologize? Maybe we could work with you, Saskia. We ain't working with MRCC, and as long as you repping MRCC, but apologies. I don't hold no grudges with anybody. But don't believe the hype. We had no beef with nobody in equity. Nobody. The individuals talking about us who claim to hate our guts, they've been to our house. We fed these individuals. I made sure they left with some weed every time. Made sure I hit them with some shrooms for free. You understand? These same folks who've been in our house, who we show love to, going around telling lies about us. Come on, man. What we still ain't got no corporate connections. Let me tell you something. Anybody who do our POS program is rocking with us. And guess what? Ain't nobody doing our POS program yet. CDA, ain't nobody from the CDA doing our POS program. Nobody. So, the MCBA. Who else?
Those are the two major organizations that have memberships.
Yeah, you guys need to do our POS program. You understand me? To effectuate equity. That shit that Sean Collins did, the Cannabis Control Commission, and then Shailene that was quiet about it because she didn't do it alone. All the commissioners did it. But for you to talk about you for black folks and you do us like that, this mass incarceration happened to black men. You must hate black men's guts, Shailene. This happened to black and brown men. You hate our guts. But you over here talking about you for us? You ain't never mentioned black, brown men once in your tenure of equity for the PIPs. You understand? So you got to watch these folks, man, and see where their real alliance is. And I don't give a fuck how you feel about black and brown men. Mass incarceration through cannabis happened to black and brown men. So we need to be a part of the discussion. We need to be a part of the remedy of what you guys plan to do for it. You understand? Everybody, and it's easy to hate on us. Easy to disenfranchise us. Meanwhile, we ain't got no love up out here. You understand me? But yeah. Thank you for joining me today. I had an awesome day today in meditation. You see, I'm zipline ready to go. I got yard work to do. We got stuff to do. You understand? Appreciate you joining me today as usual. Today was 38. Tomorrow's 39. Go grab my book if you want to. I wrote this book in response to folks talking about they don't know what equity is. Shailene and all these folks talking about they don't know what equity is. I wrote a book and got attacked for it. I wrote the Massachusetts Marijuana Social Equity Report. My wife wrote the Massachusetts Marijuana Social Equity Report. I wrote Jumping Jim Crow for cannabis, and we got attacked for it. So here is a industry talking about they genuinely don't know what equity is, and we being naive, thinking like, oh, okay, well, here's what equity is. We wrote about it, and everybody started to attack us. Everybody, but they don't got no solutions. No solutions for the barriers of entry. Grant said, hey, black folks, get up there and go cry. Go cry about equity during these things. That's his solution for us. Oh, wait. We created a solution for all of us to win. And y'all talking about, I don't like him. That guy is problematic. Well, maybe if he's loud. I'm fighting for your equity. Never had no beef with you until you went out lying about us, Chauncey. Telling people my wife had corporate connections. Telling my wife was pushing a 10% deal. Why are you not telling people that my wife is pushing a 100% deal now, Chauncey? These black men in Massachusetts, disgusting for black women. Disgusting toward black women. Black men in Massachusetts, you are disgusting towards black women, but you love that white woman. You all up in that white woman booty with your nose all deep up in her butt. But a black woman put out a program and y'all have no problem going around lying about us, lying about her. No conscience. No conscience. Black men in Massachusetts. Why are you not protecting this black woman who pushing 100% deal for your fucking licensing? But Chauncey lying, gonna talk about she pushing 10% deal. Where is the 10% deal? We can show you the 100% deal that we wrote and pushed, but ain't no 10% deal, Chauncey. That's a lie. So all you folks who are around lying about us, y'all need to come out with an apology. Y'all need to apologize because we were vulnerable. We still are vulnerable. Vulnerable to people with status, like Chauncey was all up in the Boston Globe. MRCC was all over the place. They was the activist group. We had to bang on all these folks who had Shailene Title. We had to fight and bang on all these folks who had a big status in this industry. What's his name? Grant Smith, the other white boy going around lying about us. What does he do? He's a MC. What's his shit?
President of the revised mass can.
So now I don't give a damn about revised. Grant Smith is the president of Mass Can, and this white boy going around, the president of Mass Can, is going around lying about equity program participants, saying that we have connections to corporations that we do not. Now, that's what happened when you're a white boy and you lie. You get on black people, you get rewarded. And other black people don't got no problem with you lying on other black people as long as you ain't lying on them. If you lying on them, then they got a problem with you. But if you lying on some other black people, that's okay. It's okay that Grant Smith is lying on us. It's okay. No receipts. Here it is. We produce all these receipts on MRCC, all these receipts on Shailene Title, and all they could do is come around and slander us with lies and liable. So, and then they say, oh, no, we're staying away from that. They're problematic. They're toxic over there. We've been fighting for our life in this space with folks who have already been established, folks who have international activist group backing from multi-millionaires, and we've been over here fighting for our life. You understand? Behind people saying, spreading lies about us. MRCC don't never got to produce no receipts. They were state-funded activist group. They built a big old reputation through state-funded, getting state funds, and being an activist group, talking about local first, even though they can't follow up. See, that's what I'm talking about. Everything got a track record. If you said this last year, 12 months from later, we're going to look at it and what's going on. So last year, they talking about local first, MRCC. 12 months, we look over and look who's in there. Look who's in Cambridge. Look who's in Cambridge. And MRCC ain't saying nothing. Then you look at MRCC's connections. Damn, y'all was getting $1 million for MedMen. Damn, y'all with Chris Crane. How much money y'all get from him? Damn, how much money Cookies gave y'all to shut up? And then y'all banged on black folks and it hanging on by a string in Cambridge. Y'all banged on us, called us all names, used your corporate power, used your MRCC name to shit on my wife and I, to shit on other equity program participants who were trying to get into Cambridge. But y'all not saying nothing about these other folks, talking about local first, telling people we ain't from Massachusetts. I wasn't born in Massachusetts, but I've been here for like 10 years. I got an arrest, secret indictment for participating in the Massachusetts industry as a caregiver in 2016. How long I had to be in Massachusetts? It only said you had to be in Massachusetts 12 months. I've been here almost 10 years, and y'all gonna tell folks that we just got here. We here for the opportunity. My wife is from Massachusetts. But y'all ran with that MRCC and Grant Smith and Chauncey. Why y'all do that? We came out with an equity report. Why y'all do that? We pushing 100% pies, 100% ownership for your business. And y'all ain't got the balls to say, forgive me? That's why I go so hard with Rev Clinics. Because I came out and I was like, when I saw that Rev Clinics did the lawsuit, I was like, well, damn, how greedy can you be? At the time, I was following MRCC and Grant Smith. And they had negative rhetoric for Rev Clinics. And then I said, well, damn, how greedy can you be? They riled up all Massachusetts residents, including myself, to attack local RMDs, while the whole time, while we looking at local RMDs, the whole time, they snuck in almost 300 MSO licenses. Almost 300 illegal licenses while we looking at local RMDs. While they're saying RMD, RMD, RMD. And I'm like, yeah, look at these RMDs with money. Man, they shouldn't open up a door in equity. He's like, hold up. What the heck is this over here? An illegal priority status? Almost 300 plus MSO licenses that wasn't in legislation, that they weren't operating and dispensing. I'm like, hold up. The MSOs motherfucking had their own activist group, MRCC. MRCC was the MSO activist group. No wonder they never said MSO or could never say MSO. No wonder they could never say Forefront Ventures or Chris Crane. Chris Crane raised Joey Gilmore. Chris Crane raised Shailene Title. Got these dudes fresh out of college. Excuse me, fresh in college. Got these dudes fresh in college. Like all you other SSDP fresh in college Chris Crane cronies. He raising you up to be corporate activists. To steal money from the black community, talking about war on drugs, while you line your pockets with a career, a nice career. So we real, we on the ground, we organic, nobody over us. We ain't got $1 yet from somebody, but y'all need to start paying. Everybody who gave MRCC $1, we put in that real work. This ain't just classes. These ain't classes. We do an evaluation of the Cannabis Control Commission's job and what they're supposed to do for us and our community. Ain't nobody doing investigations like us. If they was, they would get arrest threats from the Cannabis Control Commission. Nobody doing investigations like us. If they was, they would get arrest threats from the Cannabis Control Commission. We got arrest threats. We got arrest threats. So if anybody know how to help us get that money, that activist money, because we real out here doing it for free, and we still going to continue to do it for free because this pertains to us and our people and our standing. So of course we're going to do it for free. But anybody who's going to do something for free and they doing an awesome job, they doing a job that nobody doing, you should pay them. You should pay us. You had no problem paying the white boys. No problem paying MRCC, Cannabis Control Commission. You didn't send no threat letter, no arrest threat letter to MRCC. You said, come on in. Here, we'll pay you. Why you can't pay us to evaluate the equity program? Because you're going to get a real evaluation. You don't want a real evaluation. You want something that's just going to make you look good at your job. Sorry. You can't do that. Not on our watch. Not when this equity shit pertain, not when this war on drugs, this equity shit pertain to us. And then y'all doing gang shit, social equity versus economic empowerment. It's just equity. It's just equity. One group of equity was in the legislation, the other group wasn't. The other group, the Cannabis Control Commission, imagined up, and that's cool. But what you going to do with all these 600 equity program participants, social equity and economic empowerment? We got a solution. If y'all real, it's called PIES program. So it's obviously some room for social equity to get the PIES program because Hoffman told us everybody, all economic empowerment people don't want the PIES program. They don't want 100% ownership of their business. Chauncey talking about call it something different. You're going to steal a black woman's program and you're going to tell white folks to call a program something different? Crusty ass Chauncey? Huh? With your crusty ass? That's what you're going to do, Chauncey? You want the 100% program that my wife designed, but you don't want to give her credit for it? Just like the white boy did? Chris Crane stole her program and gave it to a white boy in Massachusetts. Like I try to say, the cushiest equity deal, a white man shouldn't have the cushiest equity deal in Massachusetts. White men did the mass incarcerating. White men own the industry already. How does a white man getting our PIES program move the needle for equity? Chris Crane, can you answer that? Can somebody ask him that instead of asking us questions and throwing lies about my wife and I? All you fake ass equity advocates who getting dollars, who getting the money, who getting status from talking about, oh, I'm a white man and I'm equity, I'm for equity, Grant, and y'all running with it. But y'all fucking see so much deceit in my wife and I. Y'all have no problem believing this man, white boy, following him blindly. Where he leading you? Nowhere for the last 3 years. Leading y'all in circles. And where he doing? He getting promoted and promoted and promoted for leading black folks in circles. When anybody who can lead black folks around, they're going to get money and they're going to get promoted. Black folks trying to lead themselves around, they're going to get attacked. Ain't nobody white over here over y'all. Oh, no, we got to attack that. They want something real over there. We got to attack that. So, yeah. Maybe I should start my own show. Nah. You know, I love what my wife is doing. She's giving me out of straight information, and it's a powerful resource. She's been a powerful resource to this community, and we didn't deserve those attacks. We didn't deserve those lies about us. If we was doing some real shit, why you ain't say the real shit? Why you gotta lie? And then you're not gonna be man enough to apologize? You ain't gonna be man enough to apologize after you done jumped on the bandwagon, man. You're not going to advocate for the POS program we designed once you say, you know what? This wasn't true about them. Even if you was misled, you had our phone number. You had our number. You could call me anytime, Chauncey, Grant. You could call us anytime. You got our phone number. Been to our home, brother. What was the use of running around telling everybody we was pushing the 10% deal? These folks is clowns. These folks is plants, clowns, standing in front of real equity. And I'm waiting for my apology. It ain't got nothing to do with me. It got everything to do with you being man enough to admit you was wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like I said with Rev Clinics, I was man enough to admit that I was wrong. I was on the wrong side of thinking. How you going to attack RMD who legislations can say they can open up? Legislation said they can open up. They were operating and dispensing. Legislation didn't say all of these MSOs could come into Massachusetts under equity status who weren't operating and dispensing. And then the Cannabis Control Commission hops out to defend these folks as soon as we approach them and sends us an arrest threat.
Didn't say anything to a single municipality outside of Cambridge.
But never said anything to. See, it was okay for all of the other municipalities. It was all okay for everybody else to open up during equity status. But they want to bang on a group in Cambridge? What was Cambridge really about? How come MRCC was all local first? Saskia was all local first in Cambridge. Now she's saying nothing because she's getting paid. So why y'all up there doing all that crying and shit? If y'all was really about equity, if you was really about us, how come y'all not promoting this Black Women's Program? How come y'all telling the white folks to steal the Black Women's Program? Huh? We got it. Man, let me say something. White folks can hate each other guts. They still work together. We got some issues in the Black community. What we not going to do is run down on my wife. So we can't live past that. We can't live past y'all lying about my wife. We can't live past that. Of course, how are we going to have solace? We can't have no solace with y'all running around with lies on my wife and you're not even man enough or woman enough to say that you was wrong. We can turn the page with anybody, but I can't turn the page with some folks like y'all. How am I turn the page? Y'all ain't even got enough respect to come and say, yo, you know what? We was wrong about that. Even if y'all thought that's what y'all thought it was and your heart was in the right place. Like Saskia, I thought her heart was in the right place. Like this, they done lied to this girl about who he is. That's what I was saying. But now, come on, girl. You a lobby. Come on now. You ain't asking no questions and you still caping for them? Come on now. So, and you had no problem coming out with us with no receipts. They said, Saskia, go get her. No receipts. We gave y'all all the receipts. And nobody's saying nothing. But I digress. But if you want to have peace with us, man, you're gonna have to apologize. You're gonna have to make it a public apology. Just like you use your public persona and public whatever to say we was horrible. You understand? Use your public persona, use your public influence to say, you know what, I was wrong about these individuals. Let's get behind these individuals and push the POS program. It's for everybody. I don't even know all of the equity program participants. I don't even know all the social equity program participants, but it's for them. It's for y'all.
And the ones to come, because they're opening up again.
Yeah. And it's for y'all. And all of y'all who they used the first social equity group to attack economic empowerment. Now, the first social equity group, the second social equity group, now they opening up a third equity group. We just numbers on the paper. Just numbers on the paper. The real charge, the only ones who can litigate is economic empowerment. Social equity, you can't litigate. You can't sue. We can sue. We have grounding to sue. Scott Kafka says. Judge Scott Kafka says we have grounding to sue. I wonder why nobody in equity hasn't litigated their position. That's what Judge Scott Kafka said. I'm going to tell you why, Judge Scott Kafka. Me and my wife been trying for over the last year. There's a conglomerate of cannabis lawyers who are denying us our day in court. Because we go to lawyers outside of the cannabis industry who they get. They're like, well, I don't know about this. Let me go talk to some cannabis lawyers because I don't understand this. And the legal priority status the Cannabis Control Commission created and fulfilled an illegal priority status. And a legal priority status that stayed open 500 days. Massachusetts residents ain't even get that. This illegal priority status was for MSOs from out the state, out the country. Local residents didn't even get 500-day equity status. 500-day priority status. And folks who came to the equity thing too late, they didn't get the equity. How 2-week window?
Yeah.
2-week window for real equity. Fake equity, illegal equity got 500 days. And you mean to tell me they don't owe nobody nothing? That's why they went and ran and tried to get the social equity programs to drown out the equity programs. Equity programs have status to litigate. We are in legislation. We will forever be in legislation. They got it. We are forever a problem they got to deal with. That's why they keep opening up these social equity things and try to drown out the social equity. Social equity don't got no responsibilities. Social equity, they don't even have to tell us about our business deals. Who took advantage of that? MRCC. They went and found some social equity folks and put them in predatory deals. Why? Because their deals wasn't made known. Meanwhile, they going around. Grant Smith ain't never say nothing about that. Chauncey ain't never said nothing about that. None of these folks talk about what they claim to be advocates, but they only can focus on my wife and I with lies, tear us down with lies, and then talk. And then they got the nerve to try to come at us like we came at them first. They got the nerve to try to be indignant with us, like I'm not a black man protecting my black wife and my black family. Are you kidding me? Ain't no motherfucking rules. You can't run down on my wife, the mother of my children. Ain't no rules. But they want to use how I reacted to them lying about my wife as a reason. Oh, we can't deal with. He's problematic. He's tough. He can't be talked to. He's incorrigible. He's incorrigible. Don't listen. This is what other black folks is telling white folks about me. Don't listen to him. He's incorrigible. He's problematic. After these motherfuckers went around lying on my wife.
Supposed to be.
Word. I'm supposed to be like them other cowards that don't defend their black women. Don't they say the black woman is the most unprotected woman? Not this woman. And y'all can't even handle her protection. Y'all can't handle her protection. That's why y'all all mad. Because a black man came out protecting his wife and y'all motherfuckers couldn't handle it. MRCC smashed up. Shailene smashed up. Whoever else want to step up, smashed up. I said, y'all can get it physically. Y'all can get it mentally. Who want to fight? That's what I said. However y'all wanted to get it, physically, mentally, or spiritually. Y'all can get it from me. Behind my wife, the mother of my children, I sat there and watched her push my children out of her womb. You think you're going to talk about her? You think I won't lay my life down for my wife? Not this woman, baby. Not this woman. She protected thoroughly. And y'all owe her an apology. And she fucking trying to help y'all. We out here like the Mother Mary, like Mass Mother Mary, like we said. She out here got something for all of y'all. Good children and bad children. Y'all all, she got something for Mother Mary got something for everybody. 100% ownership of your business. Why y'all throwing stones at her? Why you throwing rocks at her? Huh? So, yeah, we that's it, man. You know.
And have a great morning.
You have anything else to cover? Since I'll be doing recaps of her live, because I be wanting to get on it. I can't get on it, man. I be trying to, she coming with a whole nother level of, respectability and dignity with this thing, So we need some good folks. Anybody who wants to be a part of this, we ain't getting paid from nobody. So if you want to be a co-host, it would be an unpaid position. You understand? And if you know how to help us get that money for what we're doing, holla at us, inbox us. You understand? It's a travesty to me how they always got money to pay white folks to defend us and lead us around, but they ain't got no money to pay us to do what we already doing for free. And whether we get a dollar or not, we're gonna be here doing it. You understand? Doing it. Whether we get attacked or not, we're gonna be here doing it. You can't run down on us with your black faces and think we're gonna go. This is I got legions of ancestors who got my back. That's why y'all couldn't fuck with me. I got legions of ancestors behind me, in front of me, side and side around me. That's why I be switching up so much. Y'all don't know who the fuck you talking to. Ancestors just bop, bop, bop. I don't get to choose who y'all speak to. Y'all speak to whatever ancestor want to speak through me. Whatever ancestor want to speak through this empty vessel, I'm open. I'm open. So understand, when you're talking to me, you're talking to legions of ancestors. So forgive me if you don't get the one you like. You understand? But powerful meditation series. We 50 more days, 50, 50, 51, 52 more days of this, man, of meditations. And it's been powerful insights I've gotten from these meditations, powerful things that I've started to attract in my life. And join us. We've been doing this for 30, almost 40 days. And look, we got 50 more days left for you. So you can hop in at any time. Shout out to all of those in the book club, Becoming Supernatural by Dr. Joe Dispenza. And I see y'all tomorrow. Peace, love, peace, and hair grease. Hair grease. Love, peace, and hair grease. Thank you for joining us today. Peace. Thank you. I appreciate you. Oh, damn. I don't think I did IG. I don't think we got IG, y'all. I didn't do IG right. Good morning. Okay, how you do this like that? Oof. Good morning, live. Open up. We're not live, we're not live.